It's been a few days since we said bye to the others in Nasha Town. Still no news about Rarer, though. Where could he have slunk off to? If only he was gone for good. But with all the trouble he stirred up before, there's no way we've seen the last of him.
Hello! You must be the traveler in Paimon? Mr. Flint has been looking for you. Unfortunately, there's been a serious wild hunt attack over at the quarry. He thinks it's time to regroup and figure out a plan.
The wild hunt? Oh, uh-oh! We better get over there, right away! Come on, let's go!
I can barely sense any Kuvaki at all. This whole area feels like a soulless husk.
Looks like his appetite truly is insatiable. As if the power of that energy cannon wasn't enough.
He's not seriously still getting stronger? What's his endgame here?
Ah, everyone's here already. Hey, we made it. So, what's going on?
We've all been on high alert since we split up a few days back, expecting Rarir to strike again. But it's like he just vanished into thin air. No one has seen him nor found any trace of his presence. That is, until this morning, when a ratnik found signs of wild hunt activity while out here on patrol. As you can see, the crystalline itself is physically intact, but the Kuvaki it contained is all but completely diminished.
And we're sure that Rarir did this.
Who else? He's the only one who could pull off a stunt like this.
Kuvaki loss has reached critical levels. Reikir of Solnari set to maximum threat level. Warning, unless de-escalation measures are taken soon, he will pose a threat beyond our ability to contain. The consequences could be catastrophic.
Traveler, do you remember when we encountered Rarir just after regaining his body? There wasn't a shred of sanity left. Nothing but madness and rage.
Lembro bem. Ele já era bastante perigoso.
Yeah, didn't he shout out a bunch of names? Then he started raving about how nothing in this world mattered to him. Oh, Paimon gets chills just thinking about it. Oh, but the thought that he's still out there, lurking somewhere in Nod-Krai, waiting for his chance to strike? Oh, even chillier.
Last time we fought, we were already at a disadvantage. If he has such overwhelming strength, why would he suddenly go into hiding?
Yeah, if I were him and I wanted more Kuvaki, I'd just take it by force. No point staying in the shadows. Unless something went wrong. His whole resurrection thing didn't exactly go smoothly.
The other thing is, how does someone who's completely lost their mind still have the wherewithal to cover their tracks so perfectly?
Beats me.
According to certain medical studies, insanity does not always entail a complete loss of rationality. It may be that he is simply living in a world of his own.
That actually sounds about right. He was ranting away to himself the whole time, like he had zero interest in talking to us.
There are many unanswered questions here. He could be right under our noses, and we'd still be in the dark. Besides his name and title, we know little about him. Certainly nothing about his past, or what he might be hoping to achieve.
Exactly. And we wouldn't even know where to begin looking. Even Boss hadn't heard of the Rahere of Solnari before all this. I'd be willing to bet that even if we gathered together every scrap of intel in Nod-Krai, we still wouldn't find more than, like, 3 useful facts about him.
So, if we do nothing, he'll just keep getting stronger. But if we want to investigate him, we have no idea where to look. Last time we had Marionette and her big robo-buddy to help us, and we still barely held our ground. If we had to face him alone... Oh, Paimon's head hurts just thinking about it! What are we supposed to do against a threat this big?
Well, I do have a little hunch about his next move. Given that he attacked the quarry, I'd say it's likely he'll target other places rich in Kuvaki. Somewhere like the Eye of Krati, or the Pillar of Embla. One thing's for sure. If we just sit back and let him keep absorbing Kuvaki, we really won't stand a chance against him.
A perfectly reasonable hypothesis. However, it is worth noting that these two locations are quite far apart. To investigate them both, we'll need to split up.
I agree, we should split up. Right now, Rarir's goal seems to be gathering Kuvaki, not fighting us directly. Once we're done, let's regroup on Hisi Island.
Wait, why Hisi Island?
If I recall correctly, your largest goddess statue was carved from Kuvaki-rich ore, was it not?
That's right. Yes, it could well be a potential target of his. I should head back and start evacuating the pilgrims.
Splitting up's always gonna be risky. But I guess we don't have much choice, right? We're in a race against time here.
And if we do run into Rear, what then?
That's when you follow the third rule of treasure hunting. Run like the wind.
Didn't you say the third rule was go with the flow?
I don't know. Did I? Anyway, whatever. In this situation, go with the flow means go find backup.
Agreed. If anyone finds so much as a trace of Rarir, do not pursue him. Get out of the area and alert the rest of us as soon as possible. We need to put safety first.
All right, we'd better get moving. Come on, Anefa, let's go.
Wow! Where are we? This is so well hidden.
Well, that goes without saying. This is the Knights of Favonius' meeting place in Nod-Krai, and a contact hub for the Northern Intelligence Network. AKA, the black market of intel. No matter what faction you're with, it's the place to buy and sell information. Their headquarters are in Nod-Krai, but they've got contacts in every nation. As an expeditionary force on foreign soil, working with them has offered us the most effective way of getting our hands on reliable local intel. This is where we meet, so naturally, it's secure. Anyway, where were we? Folks from Nod-Krai should be pretty familiar with me by now, but I believe this is the first time we've met. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Varka, Knight of Boreas, and Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius.
We've heard all about you. This meeting's been a long time coming. You look way younger than Paimon expected. But you definitely have that Grand Master vibe.
Well, I'm no spring chicken. Just not showing my age yet. Definitely feeling some of that back pain today, though. Rushed back from Amsfartnir without a wink of sleep, only to get right into another fight with that freshly revived maniac.
Another? You mean you fought him before?
Yep. He wasn't nearly as strong back then, but he was still a formidable foe. I brought some of the knights along to give him a little surprise, but he saw us coming from a mile off. My squad took heavy injuries, and I barely made it out alive myself. We knew it might have been our last chance, so we staked everything on it. But still, it wasn't enough to stop him. I tried tracking him down afterwards, but he didn't leave a trace. Even in his unhinged mental state, he's as cautious as any trained operative. So, I decided to come find you. And as luck would have it, turned up to find you being ambushed by the Wild Hunt. The rest, you already know.
Is that why he's been frantically absorbing Kuvaki these past few days? Because he sees you as a threat?
Maybe I'm part of the equation, but even if I weren't, I'm sure he'd still be gathering power. He's clearly working up towards something.
Note to self, Uncle Varka's strength rating officially upgraded.
Guess it's my turn to ask questions now. So, what exactly has been happening in Nod-Krai? Why is the Wild Hunt returned in humanoid form? And why is it after you?
That's a long story, but I'll try to make it quick.
Wow, I had no idea so much had happened. Sounds like you guys have really been through it. So, the Kutar is actually a Fatui Harbinger. And all this Wild Hunt activity in Nod-Krai is the work of the Raker of Solnari, one of the 5 sinners. Oh, that's a lot to take in. Need some time to wrap my head around it all.
I'm truly sorry, Mr. Varka. You stood with us against the Wild Hunt and did everything you could to stop it from escalating into a full-blown catastrophe. And then, the one time you're away, it all comes to a head and all your hard work gets undone.
You've got nothing to apologize for, Miss Moonchanter. You can plan 100 steps ahead and still slip up. That's just life. No one knows what tomorrow holds. You can't predict which way the wind will blow next. And, to be perfectly honest, I can't say I'm surprised. For all the times we've defeated the Wild Hunt in the past, we've never been able to completely wipe it out. Turns out, we were just delaying the inevitable. But now that a new variable has come into play, fate may well take a different course.
A new variable? You mean us?
Who else? And in a strange way, I think his resurgence might not be an entirely bad thing. The Wild Hunt is like an unrelenting force of nature, but Rerir is an individual with an agenda. He's gotta have a weak spot somewhere. That said, while I was explaining everything just now, some of the points that Mr. Flint's added caught my attention.
You mean about our mystery ally?
That's right. From what you've said, not only did they lead you straight to some key files, they also shielded Hisi Island from a lethal Kuvaki blast. I don't know who or what could pull something like that off. Heck, even Miss Columbina doesn't have a clue.
I hadn't heard the story about those files. Would you mind repeating their titles for me?
Wild Hunt Phenomena Log, a Nod-Krai and Ratnik's Field Journal, and Kuvaki Survey Log.
Oh. No. Still doesn't ring a bell.
Another dead end. Guess all we can do now is hope that our mystery ally keeps showing up when we most need them. Still, it's safest to assume they won't be intervening again. From here on out, we'll have to resolve this crisis by ourselves. Your intel also explains something else I've been wondering about. The reason I led my team to Amsfarnir was because we'd had reports about a possible source of the Wild Hunt showing up there. But once we looked into it, it turned out to be a red herring. I don't know who was behind it, but clearly, it served its purpose. I doubt it's by chance that he happened to make his comeback while my attention was diverted. And from everything you told me, it sounds like his scheming began well before his return. So maybe luring me away was all a part of his plan. But is it even possible that he orchestrated all of this by himself? The Moon Maiden and the Raker of Solnari, in Nod-Krai of all places. The way everything is unfolding, it can't be a coincidence.
So, what do we do now? Got any ideas?
Right now, we've got at least 3 things to consider. Let's go through them one by one. First, we need to figure out how to take down Rerir. If we can't beat him in a straight-up fight, the rest won't even matter. To my knowledge, the bulk of Nod-Krai's fighting force is already gathered here. But even with everyone united, we're still no match for Rerir in his current state, let alone with his power still growing.
What if there was a way to tap into a new power of our own?
How so?
Have you thought of something, Columbina?
3 moons once watched over this world. The Eternal Moon was the largest. The Frost Moon was the brightest. And the Iridescent Moon was the most mysterious. They say that back then, the 3 moon goddesses wielded immense power. Enough to shape the workings of the world itself. I now bear the Frost Moon's power, and the Eternal Moon's marrow resides within the Traveler.
Hold on. Are you suggesting?
The iridescent moon. The last piece in the puzzle.
That's right. If we can find the Iridescent Moon's marrow, I will be able to regain my strength much more quickly.
The 3 moons are said to stir the tides and illuminate all things. Perhaps they hold further secrets beyond our understanding.
According to my analysis, the solution is feasible. However, it is subject to one major condition. How do we locate the iridescent moon's marrow?
I know a way, but we will need to visit the Fatui's Experimental Design Bureau.
The Experimental Design Bureau? Are you saying we need to involve Marionette?
Yes. I must speak with Sandrone.
It's a long way from here to the Experimental Design Bureau. There's a high chance you'll be spotted. You shouldn't go alone.
Eu vou com ela.
Then that's settled. Next up, our second priority. Somehow, we need to figure out Rarir's end goal. As you saw for yourselves, when he was still in his wild hunt form, everything he did was for the sake of recovering his body and resurrecting himself. His first act since then, after laying low for a while, was to try and assassinate this young lady. People's obsessions often reveal their greatest vulnerabilities. There must be a reason why he despises the moon so deeply. Perhaps it sheds some light on his title, the Raker of Solnari. The Wild Hunt has plagued Nod-Krai for centuries now. If we want to stop it for good, we have to get to the root cause of what's driving it.
It's true. We still know very little about him. If Kuthar hadn't given us that lead, we wouldn't even know his name.
But where would we even start? I doubt even the Intel Queen of Nod-Krai has a clue, and she has info coming out of her ears.
Oh? That's a rather hasty conclusion for someone who's so painstakingly meticulous when it comes to dealing with machines.
Ah, she heard me.
Boss! What are you doing here?
I'm now asking myself the same question. I received a letter from a humble knight of Favonius, requesting a meeting to discuss a major business deal. But it looks like this humble knight had something else in mind.
Details, details. Miss Neffer, the important thing is that you've arrived at the perfect time. Since his failed ambush, I've been racking my brains trying to come up with a plan to fight Rarir. Given the severity of the situation, I think it's fair to say that our only chance lies in uniting as one. And I'm talking all the factions in Nod-Krai. We can't do this without the Curatorium, but I knew it'd be a tough job to win you over. So, I took the liberty of reaching out for a little chat.
Wait a sec. How did you even hear about this place, Neffer? Didn't you say this is meant to be the Knights of Favonius' meeting spot? And a contact hub for the Northern Intelligence Network? And isn't it supposed to be super hidden?
You really think he could have gotten settled in Nod-Krai without my help? Besides, I'm the one running this gig. Of course I know where the meeting place is.
Quer dizer que você é...
Allow me to introduce the current head of the Northern Intelligence Network. If it's intel you're after, she's your woman. Pretty much seen and heard it all.
Please spare me the flattery. Let's cut to the chase. Seems like you've run into some trouble, huh? Well, this certainly qualifies as an unforeseen crisis. On behalf of the Curatorium of Secrets, I wish you all the best of luck.
So you're just going to sit this one out?
Why should I get involved? What could possibly be in it for me?
What if we told you we can't do this without you?
Oh? Then I'd say you'd better make it worth my while. I don't work for free.
I can't put a price on something like this. It's just not in my nature. But then again, you and I have always been polar opposites in this regard. So I can't exactly say I didn't see this coming. If you insist on compensation, I will pay you. Consider this a formal commission. Sound fair?
You just don't give up, do you? Too bad. I know you well enough to know you can't afford my prices. The riskier the job, the more it'll cost. And a moon chanter's stipend isn't exactly generous. Unless you're planning to start passing the donation box around among the faithful.
Boss, just a thought. If they come up short, maybe you can take the difference out of my next few paychecks. Things got really dangerous during the fight with Rerir. If this girl hadn't saved me, I'd be ley line fodder by now. I'd be gone for good, boss. If there's any way we can make this work, I'd really like to help her. Please? I'm begging you.
This is why I'm always telling you never accept favors. They are the hardest debts to repay. You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all kinds of misfortune. Very well, Yehoda, I will help. But just this once. Don't count on this happening again. Flynn's, that fragment that Rerir was after, do you still have it on you?
Of course.
Let me borrow it. I need it to follow up on some leads.
Wait, you actually have some leads?
Shh. This is top secret information.
I get it. We all have things we'd rather keep to ourselves. Plus, I know we can count on you, so we'll leave the intel gathering in your hands. And that brings me to the third and final item. We need to find a way to distract him. We need time to make our move, so someone will have to stall him. I'm in for this part, no matter what. Anyone coming with?
Count me in too.
Come off it, you two. Quit playing heroes. I'm way ahead of you here. Nefa did a scan of the Moon Goddess's Kuvaki signature, and we're gonna use it to make some decoys over at the Kramkake craft shop. Anyone who's in, follow me. Once they're ready, we'll deploy the decoys across Nod-Krai. So as long as the rest of you keep moving, he won't catch on to your scent and won't be able to track you down.
I like it. Genius idea.
No biggie.
All right then, we'll split into 3 teams. Once your team has finished their mission, return here and wait for the others. Dismissed!
Lady Damselette. Wait, and you two? What are you doing at the Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau? We've been doing our best to mind our own business lately. But if you're just gonna waltz up here like this, you're seriously pressing your luck. Don't blame us for doing what we have to.
Huh! You really think that's gonna scare us off?
We're not looking for any trouble. I just want to see Zandrone.
Do I need to remind you that you're still a wanted fugitive for deserting us? Out of consideration for our former ties and the crisis we're all up against, we'll let you leave in one piece. But don't even think about trying to get inside.
Let them in.
But...
Are you going to make me repeat that?
No, my lady.
Zandrone seems to be in a good mood. Must be maintenance day.
tell me, to what do I owe the honor this time? Actually, before you answer that, just so we're clear, we're not colleagues anymore, Columbina. I don't owe you anything.
I promise it's nothing big.
It seems like you've gotten the wrong idea here. The only reason I let you in was because I was bored. It seemed like a way to kill some time and satisfy my own curiosity. Whatever miscalculations I may or may not have made in the past, I haven't lost the plot enough to even consider sticking my neck out for your sakes.
I'd like to speak with Arlecchino.
What?
Huh? You mean the knave?
I'd like to speak with Arlecchino. Is she in Nod-Krai?
No, she's not. Once the work on this facility was completed, she went back with the Rooster and Regrator. The only ones in Nod-Krai are me and... What is it you need to speak to her about anyway?
Rerir is hunting me. If I'm going to face him, I must first retrieve the lost moon.
Marionete parece estar perdida em pensamentos, mas ela não parece surpresa. Ela deve saber mais do que está transparecendo. Não entendo o que a Arlecchino tem a ver com a medula lunar, mas a essa altura não tenho escolha senão concordar com o plano da Columbina.
Is that a no, then?
Só estamos fazendo isso para parar o Vingador da Lua. Ele é nosso inimigo em comum.
As if I need reminding. I was this close to settling things with him before someone decided to whisk me away to their weird little garden.
Have you held any tea parties lately?
Tea parties? Yeah, obviously. You don't seriously think we'd pack it all in just because you aren't here. If anything, they've been more eventful than ever. Just me, Arlecchino, and a bunch of insolent, insensitive guests who won't stop asking where you've gone. Oh, they've been a real joy.
I bet you served them the worst tea you have. Just like you used to do to me when I upset you.
Who cares about how good the tea is when there's no one around to drink it? I keep losing people. First Rosaline, now you. I'm running out of people who can make me laugh. Honestly, what could be more ridiculous than the multi-centenarian goddess, who's only ever had the plain herbal tea she received as offerings?
You'd always brew a different type of tea for me each time. Was it really just to see how I'd react?
Well, duh. Why else? Watching you squirm was practically my only form of entertainment.
Ou ela estava genuinamente só tentando apresentar novos sabores para Columbina? Talvez toda aquela frieza era só uma fachada. E elas realmente se dão bem?
Oh, yeah. And Capitano sometimes used to bring Tartaglia around too. But I guess we won't be seeing him again. Well, I guess we are overdue for a get-together. Polonia! Have Febronia pass a message to Arlecchino for me. It's time for tea. Will suffice.
Pass along a message for me, too, if you would. My body cannot contain the marrow of 2 moons, so I'll be leaving one of them in her care.
Excuse me? Who said you were on the guest list? If my tea meant that much to you, maybe quitting the Fatui wasn't your brightest move. Back when you were under the Tsaritsa's protection, no one would have dared come at you so openly.
But that protection didn't come for free. In fact, I paid dearly for it. At the end of the day, it was just another transaction. I just got tired, that's all. I never wanted any part in their grand ambitions, and I've had enough of being treated like a bottomless supply of power. It brings back memories from the old days, when I was still worshipped as the moon goddess. Centuries on, it may be a different group of people, but I see the same greed in their eyes.
I figured you'd leave eventually. You didn't have as much of a reason to stay as I do. The Tsaritsa gave you shelter and protection, but that was it. Nothing more, nothing less. Meanwhile, the Fatui demanded everything from you in return, until it was more than you could bear. I get why you left. And frankly, I have no interest in dragging you back just because the higher-ups told me to. But if you keep hanging around with this riffraff, the next time we cross paths, we might be enemies for real.
Ela diz isso, mas foi ela quem acabou cedendo e concordou em ajudar a Columbina.
Guess that's our cue to leave.
Vamos, é melhor não deixarmos Barca e os outros esperando.
That might be your plan. But it sounds like someone else wants you to stay a little longer.
Huh? What do you mean?
Listen.
My lady, it's the Wild Hunt. A horde of monsters is headed straight for the facility.
Another uninvited guest trying to crash my tea party. Clear the area. I'll handle this.
Wait, what? You want us to leave you here by yourself?
You'll be lucky to make it out of this alive. You really think you can afford to worry about me? Go on, get out of here. You may have stopped Polonia from crushing him last time, but I've made sure that won't happen again. The entire Experimental Design Bureau is rigged for war. Stay and watch if you want, but it'll be at your own risk. You're not flagged as friendlies in the weapons system.
Apenas tenha cuidado, beleza?
Don't tell me what to do! Look, if you're leaving, make it quick. Or you'll just get in my way. There's a secret passage on the second floor. It'll take you right to the plains out back. Stare all you want, Columbina. You're not getting another invitation to my tea party.
I know. But thank you anyway, Sandrone.
This is exactly why you shouldn't hang around with those people. All their melodrama and sentimental nonsense is rubbing off on you. Come on then, Mr. Ray here. Let's pick up where we left off. It's your Wild Hunt monstrosities versus my beautiful creations. Let's see who comes out on top.
Paulownia, get him!
I've upgraded Paulownia again since our last encounter, and uploaded every last scrap of your data. So let's finish this, once and for...
She's not here. Where did she go?
Hey! Over here, you big...
Cursed moon. Go. Keep searching. She cannot have gotten far.
So this is your method for investigating Rarir's past. It almost looks like some kind of ceremony.
Good deduction. But it's quite a different affair from what you're used to with the Frost Moon Scions.
Whoa! First time I've ever been in here. Boss always said it was off limits, so I pictured some kind of creepy dungeon. But it's actually kinda nice. Oh, I guess this must be Sumero decor? That's where Boss is from. And that nice shopkeeper who sold me my treasure compass.
I'm not sure exactly what you've got planned, but it looks like you're all set. When do we begin?
Whenever we wish. But for some reason, I've got a feeling this isn't going to end well. I've never faced Rarir myself, but from what you've told me, his power is beyond anything I could imagine. I, on the other hand, am just an ordinary businesswoman. Our paths should never have crossed, yet here I am, forced to make an enemy of him.
If you ask me, you're about as far from ordinary as it gets. So what are you saying? You're getting cold feet?
Once I take a job, there's no backing out. Still, I have to ask myself if the power I'm relying on will even work on an opponent of this caliber. And also how to make sure I come out of this alive if things spiral out of control. Death is the one thing we can take for granted. It is the great equalizer, however fortunate or unfortunate we may otherwise be. So it's important to consider how to spend what lifespan we have left.
Come on, boss. Lighten up. Quit talking about death. It's bad luck.
For once, I agree with you. When you're up against a foe like Rarir, there's no such thing as being too prepared. Is there anything I can do to help?
That won't be necessary. I've already made up my mind. Time to cash in a precious favor I've been saving for a rainy day. Yehoda, I need you to find someone for me. The sooner the better.
Eh? Find who?
That shady merchant who sold you an overpriced treasure compass the other day.
Come on, boss. You're pulling my leg again. In what way is she shady? She showed up when I was completely lost and sold me a neat little gadget that was exactly what I needed. Trust me, she's a good person. Anyway, I know who you're talking about. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Stop dragging me. I genuinely can't run any further.
Hey, aren't you?
What is it? What's the big rush? You dragged me out of a dream where I was literally swimming in Mora. I'm charging double my usual attendance fee. See, look how easygoing she is. After that rude awakening, she could have completely snapped at us. But instead, she kept it together and just asked for an extra fee.
Dori Sangama Bay? I never would have pictured you two doing business together.
If you want to make it big in Nod-Krai, it's all about connections. Lady Nefer just so happens to have a lot of intel that interests me. And she also did me a big favor in the past. It was back when I first arrived in Nod-Krai. My trusty assistant, the genie in my lamp, had an adverse reaction to the Kuvaki and fainted. And when you know it, that's when I suddenly find myself in a life-or-death situation. Good thing my compatriot was there to swoop in and save the day. I've been giving her a 30% discount off all of my goods ever since. Now, so that no one here feels left out, I'm willing to extend a 20% discount to fellow friends of Boss Nefer. Plus, any other friends you send my way will enjoy 10% off. What can I say? The great Lord Sangamabe is nothing if not generous. So, let me guess. You've run into some trouble? I've got everything you could possibly need. And the more you buy, the more you'll save.
You guessed correctly. What have you got in the way of survival gear?
The one type of gear I've never been short on. What are you looking for? A jetpack fresh from the Academia's labs? An ancient suit of armor dredged up from the bottom of the sea? At the very least, I need to know what kind of opponent you're dealing with here. If even you're worried about staying alive, it must be pretty serious.
What if I told you it's someone with the power to bring a nation to its knees?
Is that so? Then we really are talking top-shelf treasures. I don't have anything like that in stock right now. I'll have to ask my supplier.
Your supplier?
A powerful woman, make no mistake. I can't reveal her identity, but luckily for you, I hear she's planning to visit Nod-Krai in the near future. If you're willing to wait, I can ask her when she's here. Can't say exactly how long that'll be, though.
Then, let me put it another way. What would you do if you encountered an enemy like that? Roll over and serve yourself up on a silver platter?
Of course not! I have a handy little trinket from one of my generous suppliers, which... Hold on. What exactly are you getting at? No, no! This is for my personal use only!
Let's just say I'm borrowing it, all right? Just for insurance purposes. You'll get it back later. Favors are the worst kind of debt to owe, and now you've got a chance to repay one. A win-win situation, don't you think?
Fine. You can borrow it for 5 days. No, make that 3. And for every extra hour after that, I'm charging you 1,000,000 mora. Deal?
Deal.
What a way to start the day. Now, was there anything else you wanted? Or can I go back to bed now?
That will be all. Take care now. Don't trip up on your way back, friend.
See you later! You're my favorite shopkeeper.
Excellent. Everything is well and truly ready. The ceremony can now begin. After initiating the ceremony, your minds will follow me wherever I go. You will see many strange things in your mind's eye. So remember, don't be frightened, and don't make a sound. Now then, let us peer into the Raker of Solnari's past. I made it. I don't recognize this style of architecture. Must be Conrian. Simple furnishings, table and chairs. It's a more ordinary house than I might have expected. Looks like the fearsome Raker of Solnari came from surprisingly humble beginnings. Unless this passed for luxury in Conria. Unlikely. It was said to be a very prosperous nation in its heyday. Anyway, I'll keep exploring.